Hey guys, it's me Meg, and welcome to another tutorial. I mean, obviously you did click on the link, so hopefully that is what you were hoping for. And we're going to be building this sea turtle statue. Yes, partially due to Update Aquatic coming out with turtles, but also, it's just too cute to pass up. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Like always, we're going to start with the base of the statue, which is just going to be this really tiny little wave that I made underneath of the turtle. And you can use any block you want for this. I'm using diorite just because I'm making this a stone statue, but I have conveniently made everything colored, so if you did want to make this a colored statue, you would just have to follow the colors I have shown you on the left. So if you wanted to make this look like water, then you would use something blue. That simple. Honestly, it was like a last minute thing, this little base idea, but it's really simple. We're just going to work on it one layer at a time until we get the shape done. Don't feel like you have to get this 100% accurate. It is water we're building and could be any shape or any form. Basically, you can make no mistakes. As far as the size of the space, it's also completely up to you, but I would recommend that it be at least 4 blocks high. I say that just in case you want to design your own base, which you're more than welcome to. Now that you have your base done, we can start on the actual sea turtle. Looking at the top layer of the base, we're going to build a row of 4 blocks from the middle layer right on top of that. As long as the middle layer is centered on your base, that's all that really matters. Once again, I am going to be using various types of stone for this build, but you could be using a colored block that matches on the left. I'm trying a new method for my tutorials in that I'm actually showing a colored version on the left, and if it works out really well, I might continue to do this for all of them. We shall see. But again, it really does depend on what it is I'm building and how practical it would be to do that. Well, by now you should be almost done with the second layer, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the third. As you can see, I am doing both sides a little bit at a time, and if you're not familiar with how I do my tutorials, I usually do it this way, where I slice the object or whatever it is into layers. And if you ever get stuck, just pause the video. Alright, we're now on layer 4, and if you haven't figured it out by now, it's pretty obvious, but this statue is on a very slight angle, so each side is going to be just slightly different from the other. The right side being tilted upward slightly, while the left side is tilted downward. Fun fact about the sea turtle, it's actually the second model I built for this tutorial. The first one I thought looked fantastic. The only problem was it was a little bit too big. I have a tendency to make things way bigger than they need to be, and so because I really want to make this as easy as possible for you guys, I resized the turtle and redesigned this entire thing. But that's okay. No matter how many times I have to redesign something, it's going to take time if I want to get it to where I'm happy with it, which is always a long time because I'm extremely picky. But you know, that's just me. At this point we should be in the middle of layer 6, and this layer has the last piece of the shell on the right side, as you can see, and once we're done with that, it's smooth sailing to finish this just by finishing off the back and the front flippers. Now layers 7 through 11 will just be finishing off the flippers, like I said. So we're just going to take the time to go back and forth and add just the few blocks necessary to complete this. Like I said, I have no idea what blocks you've decided to use for your build, but if you are going with the colored blocks, I am going to show you some other colored options at the end of the video. Mainly just ideas of how you can improve upon the build to make it look a little more realistic. One other important thing I completely forgot to mention, it's very, very important that you give your sea turtle a name, because if you don't give him a name, he will be very insecure for the rest of his life not knowing who he is. So just to set the record straight, let's go ahead and name this sea turtle Seymour. And I chose that name because it's a very stereotypical turtle name, and the first thing I came up with. It almost seems wasteful to have to circle this whole turtle just to place a few blocks, but in all honesty, that was the easiest way for me to make this tutorial. So let's go ahead and circle around one more time for those last 3 blocks. Now our adorable sea turtle is complete. Now that I have my stone sea turtle done, let's take a look and see how everyone else did. Assuming that you wanted to make a colored sea turtle, you might have come up with something that looks like this. which actually looks really great. We got the blue water, we got the green fins. Of course, the eyes stayed the same, but we also have 2 colors of brown on the shell. Now, of course, it's totally up to you what blocks you chose. I, for one, chose a lot of concrete and terracotta. If you like the smoother look, then you could do what I've done, or if you like a textured look, maybe you'd use something like wood. I don't know. Now, assuming that you have your turtle looking similar to mine, I'm going to show you some other ways we can improve it. First of all, as you can see, I have done glass instead of a solid block for the water because water is translucent, so that was kind of an obvious thing to do there. But for the rest of it, all I'm going to do is mix in other blocks of the same color. So I'm going to add some lime terracotta all around the flippers, as well as some green carpet sprinkled throughout. This just adds different textures as well as different shades of green all around. And the same thing goes for the shell. We're going to add some brown terracotta and some brown wool to mix in with our concrete. So I just made those few little changes, and already this sea turtle looks a lot more realistic than it did before. One more thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add some white glass panes on the edges of the wave, and that just adds that foam effect to the edge of it. Anyway, that's all I have for you for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have a couple options listed below. You could push the like button if you liked it, or you could push the other button to say "dis I like." I know, it's a really bad joke, but I couldn't resist. Not this time. Bye for now.